Here it is. This is the Runaway. In Boston Scally's own words, this cap takes a classic silhouette and turns it into something deeper. Built in our single panel patchwork style, each section works together to create a clean, wearable tribute to an iconic moment. Here is the cap in hand. This is the Runaway. Oh my goodness. This is quite the cap right here. Oh my goodness. Just look at all of those beautiful, amazing colors on this cap. All of the different patterns that they have incorporated into this thing. They just look great. I especially really like this red right here, and you can see the little specks of the green and the yellow and the deeper red. It's a little hard to see, but they are there and they look great. They make this cap come alive. I think this is just such a wonderfully made cap, and I've already have talked about the Runaway just a bit. I did talk about it on my last video, which was the spoiler alert, so I guess it's too late now, but it was in that video as one of my 5 favorite Boston Scally caps. The Runaway was there, and it was there for a reason, because this is one of Boston Scally's most exquisite caps I think that they have put out. Like I said, I am just in love with all of these different colors that you have on this, all the different designs. And you know, this cap was price-wise just a little bit more than the typical Boston Scally cap. I think maybe by $2 or $3. But for me, it is really worth it, because everything on this cap, it pops. It really does. I love, and you know, Boston Scally had a video where they explained essentially where a lot of the colors were coming from. You have the yellow here, that was from the boy's shirt. The blue, this plaid pattern here, this classic plaid pattern, that was coming from the cop's uniform. And then the green that you have here, that was coming from the bar stools. And of course, this is based on Norman Rockwell's painting, The Runaway. So that is where this is being completely inspired from. And I think they have captured that painting very, very well with this cap. I think it's interesting too that here you have the, I mentioned this in my other video, I think, when I was talking about my favorite caps, but that's the Happy Gilmore pattern. So I thought that was really cool that they incorporated it there. And you, of course, you do have the brown, is that, yeah, that's a herringbone. And then you have the gray herringbone, the traditional black and white, which does not bother me at all on this cap, because I have said in past reviews that sometimes I'm just not the biggest fan of herringbones, you know, traditional herringbones. But for this cap, it completely makes sense, because this looks like such a classic, classy cap, you know, that you would get, that your grandfather would have. So I think they really nailed this cap thematically when it comes to all that. Oh man, I love that yellow too. There's not a lot of Boston Scallys that have this this colored yellow that I'm aware of. And so now, of course, we have to talk about the pin set, because this was a fabulous pin set. It had, of course, the radio that you see in the background of the painting. Then it had also the coffee cup there. Not a cup, but it was, the coffee was there as well. And then also, which I put on my cap, was the painting itself. Essentially, you have the Runaway, the little kid, and you have the cop. And so just look at that. I love that. I think that is such a unique pin, and it just completely pulls this cap together. And it makes this cap make sense. And this is, you know, sometimes I like, you know, where caps don't look so, I don't want to use the word antiquated, but when they don't look so traditional. But this one in particular, just, it hits the nail on the head for me. And I do like the Happy Gilmore pattern. because it completely, one of my favorite things, and I say this in a couple of my videos, it completely stands out from the brown around it that you see on the cap, and then the herringbone, which cuts down right in the middle. So you have those different color patterns that this cuts through essentially, and it looks great. It almost just from a distance looks like an off-white maybe, but such a cool cap. I cannot believe, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit different, but I just cannot believe that this cap hasn't sold out yet. It's been out for quite a while now, and it has still not sold out. But interestingly enough, the pin set, when I looked at it, that thing sold out no more than an hour and a half. Because when I went back an hour and a half later and looked at it, that pin set was gone. It was sold out. So that pin set did not last long. Of course, people are now selling it on eBay as they always do. But I think this cap, just without the pin set, it just, to me, it wouldn't quite work because, especially what I put on this one, the pin, I think that is one of the most beautiful, ingenious pins they have ever done, the Boston Scally Company, because it really, there's no question now with the pin on the cap about what it is. Of course, it's the Runaway, right? And we all, even if we don't know it's Norman Rockwell, I think we all, probably recognize that image of the cop and the kid sitting there in that diner. We've all seen that before, even if we don't know exactly where it comes from. So I just think it looks so good. And so also this cap came with the dust bag. I like the blue drawstrings too. I think that's cool. But you do have the image itself, the painting, and it was such a great dust bag. I really, like I said, I just can't believe this thing hasn't sold out yet. I think Boston Scally went above and beyond with this cap because they have so many interesting patterns on this cap. Again, the speckles and the red, and then I just love that green too that you see right there. I really like that green a lot with the orangish. And then the orangish, is that a word? Well, it is now. And then the white and the black there, it looks just so great. And of course I said also the yellow. I love that stark looking yellow there. It just really makes a statement, I feel. And this cap, I mean, look at that. I'm about to drool. This cap is just, it's beautiful to me. And like I said, I just can't believe that it didn't sell out yet, that it hasn't sold out, because to me, this is one of Boston Scally's best, one of their absolute best for me, because it was in my video of my 5 favorite Boston Scally caps. So I'll go ahead and tell you, if you haven't seen that video, go watch it now. But I rated that cap my second favorite. It almost beat out the Scarecrow, almost, but this thing is growing on me because it looks better every single time I put this thing back on the head. It just looks so good to me. So before I do rate this cap, I have to mention this. Thank you so much to Dan and Daniel and my wife. She did a lot of the filming for this. So thank y'all so much for helping me out with this video, with the intro. This would not have been anywhere near as good if y'all would not have taken the time and spent an evening with me making this intro what it was. So thank y'all so much. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we are so close. We have friends that we can just call up on a dime and be like, hey, you want to go film something? Sure, why not? So, like I said, I'm so glad that they were into it, that they came and helped me out. Otherwise, it just, like this video just would not have been the same. So wrapping up here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rate the Runaway from Boston Scally Company. I do rate on a scale from 1 to 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. Do I even have to say it? This cap's a 5. I just think this is one of their best. And I don't know what people are looking for in a cap, I guess, if this one didn't sell out, because, the moment I saw it, I knew it. I knew that this was going to be one of my favorites. And it is. It's climbing the ladder, trying to knock out the Scarecrow by the day, take it out of that top spot, because this is just, it's exquisite. I mean, it's timeless. I think it's just such a timeless looking cap, such a classic looking cap, and I am so incredibly glad that I got this cap. So that is my review for the Runaway from the Boston Scally Company, and thank y'all so much for joining me today, and I do hope y'all have a great rest of your day.